Hey, here I'm going to do another top 10 favourite movies of all time. And this is my 10 favourite children's movies of all time. We will, of course, start off with number 10, which would be Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. As you can see here, I got the special edition DVD of it. I remember going to see this in the cinemas, and it just blew me away. Just the animation, and just quite a fair bit of everything about it. Just the animation, the weirdness, the creepiness about it. I really enjoyed creepy stuff as a kid. Well, as my mom says, creepy stuff when I was a kid. I love one of the special features on this, which is a ride through on the Disneyland Haunted Castle on Halloween when they do it up Nightmare Before Christmas. So I really enjoyed it. I found it, quite an awesome special feature, as I have been on the ride, not on Halloween at all, but I quite enjoy watching ride-throughs as well. I think ride-throughs are awesome. But anyway, back to this is also the VHS of it. Yeah, just thought it was just an amazing little movie. Loved lots of the little monsters in it, especially the one with the head that sort of, has the thing stuck in the middle. Don't know how to really describe it, but that was my favourite monster as a kid. On to number 9, which is The Bear. So hang on a minute. This movie was probably one of the very first movies I ever saw, as I remember definitely seen this before. I was 4 years old, easily. Very little dialogue in this movie. It pretty much just follows a baby bear that's mother accidentally gets killed by a small avalanche while trying to dig for honey from a beehive. But anyway, this movie is a spectacular little movie. As soon as I heard of the DVD release, I had to get it, as I probably hadn't seen it since I was 5 until I got this DVD about 4 or 5 years ago, possibly, yeah. But this is definitely a great movie with, a lot of heart. Number 8, we have Ralph Bakshi's animated Lord of the Rings. Now, I remember always reading Lord of the Rings and anything Tolkien, really, got obsessed with The Hobbit when I was about 7 or 8, and then after that I started reading Lord of the Rings at about 8 or 9, and yeah, I loved them. I still really enjoy this version a lot. Yeah, it lacks a lot of the story, but it makes up for it with some really awesome, brilliant visuals and animation, that only Ralph Bakshi could do. This was one when I was a bit older, actually. I saw this one just because, I was probably about 11. I was younger than 11, actually. I was probably about, 6 or 7. I'm not sure. But anyway, I love this movie. It's great. Especially love the rotoscoping in it. And it's a great little Bakshi movie. Probably one of his best. Number 7, we have, now this is technically 2 movies on this, but it only counts as 1 technically, because I only really used to watch both of them, but my favourite would have to be Caravan of Courage. Just a giant troll monster in that as a kid for some weird reason. I loved both these movies as a kid, but just the Ewok movies, which is something special. And I actually like, people are going to hate me for saying this, but I enjoy these better than the Star Wars movies, just because they've got more nostalgia factor and just, just a better feeling for me overall than Star Wars ever did. Like, I still love the original Star Wars series. Not so much a fan of the original trilogy, if you want to call it, the 1, 2 and 3, but I didn't really enjoy them ones as much. Did as a kid, but just something really awesome about the Ewok movies. I've even got the animated movies. I like them as well, but this was the one in my top 10 as a kid. Now we have number 6, which is the fantastic Drop Dead Fred with Rick Mail. Now, this movie is a really special movie, I'm pretty sure a lot of children love this movie. It's just rude and crude as they could come for a kid's movie, really, you know. The mum's actually called Mega Bitch for a fair bit of the show, and then it turns into Mega Beast just so they could keep it PG rated, I guess. But this is hilarious. This is still, I think, one of the funniest movies ever, and it's as well. It's got a lot of heart and, you know, good things in it as well. I don't see, if I definitely have children one day, they'll definitely be growing up on this, and I hope they enjoy it as much as I did. You know, I don't think there's anything really that bad about this movie. I just think it's a fantastic movie that, you know, just has a lot of things in it. You know, great cast. As I said before, some of the funniest jokes I've ever heard, but I love this movie. And it actually, like, you know, it's sort of, it ages as well. Like, you can watch it when you're older and you still get the feeling, because, you know, as I said, like, you know, the main character in this is, married, you know, so it definitely has the adult and the child point of view in this movie. You know, it really is a film for all ages, and I love it. Now, I'll just clear this out for my number 4. Oh shit, it's a massive box set. I hate it when that happens. Here we go. This is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's a bit hard to hold with just one hand, but this is by far probably my favourite box set. But again, I had this on video as a kid, taped off TV, and also bought, and I've also, you know, had it on DVD and Blu-ray, and so this is finally, you know, the ultimate version you can get. As you can see, it slips out. It comes with a book written by Mel Stewart, and it's a fantastic book. It also comes with a golden ticket, which I'm using as a bookmark at the moment. Still haven't finished this book. Just haven't really had time. Now, this is actually, I added this into the collection myself. This is from when the Tim Burton remake came out. They actually stole the chocolate bars, and I kept one of the wrappers. And here we've got some correspondence, which is just, you know, some photo stats of Gene Wilder's actual handwritten letters and stuff in here, and some actually really quite amazing letters from Walper and all that as well in there. And it also comes with a pencil case, which has scented pencils and erasers in it, and it's a 3-disc set here, but it's actually just technically 2, as it's just the movie on Blu-ray, the movie on DVD, and about, I think it was 20 minutes of special features on this disc. So it wasn't massively wrapped with, you know, the features, as I already had this disc and this disc, as I had it on DVD and DVD and Blu-ray, and then you know, so this disc, but the box set itself is amazing, and I will never ever regret buying it, because it really is one of my favourite movies of all time. As you know, as if I even need to explain why it is. It's just, you know, a fantastic little wonderful magical movie, you know, and you can watch it no matter how old you are, and it's still a magical movie. And that's my number 5, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Fantastic movie. Now my number 4 is Labyrinth. I've got this on VHS and DVD. This one is, you know, just, again, just something about the puppets and how magic this movie is. It made me really love it as a kid. You know, watched this just the other night actually, and I still love it. There's a VHS. I quite like this VHS cover. It's, you know, one of the cheaper sort of, I think it's Force Video released this edition, which, if anyone here lives in Australia, I don't know if Force was available overseas, would sort of know that Force Video were just sort of almost a bootleg sort of company, and they used to have a lot of their sort of VHS at sort of like, you know, $2 junk shop sort of places, you know. But believe it or not, never actually owned this as a kid at all. Some family friends of theirs, every time I used to go to their house, I used to watch Labyrinth, and I used to rent it from the video shop every week. Probably watched this at least once a week for a good few years, so it was a staple diet. And, you know, really think this movie and the three others I'm about to show you sort of got me hooked on film. Now, so number 3, okay, this is technically not a movie, but I watched it so much as a child. It was ridiculous. Again, Jim Henson, storyteller. Now, I've got every episode there on DVD, plus the Greek Myths. This was an import from America. Now, this video, this is how I used to view it as a kid. Fantastic little video there. Had other ones. My favourite was always The Heartless Giant, and it always used to make me feel so sad at the end, you know, that they'd rather kill the giant than, you know, just let him live. And sort of, you know, these stories actually just have, like, you know, a lot of great morals and fantastic, you know, just magic in them. And you watch it today, you know, and the special effects is still amazing. You know, there's some dodgy blue screen stuff in that, like any other, like Labyrinth has it, but it's just Jim Henson, you know, it's amazing. It's, you know, it's going to be awesome. Now, the Greek Myths I never watched as a kid, and I've only watched each episode once. I don't like them as much as, you know, the original charm, but I think it's just because, you know, John Hurt, just his voice, it has such magic to it, you know, even in Watership Down and Plague Dogs, which unfortunately miss out on this list, just because they're more, like, I watched them as a child, but they're more favourites for me now than as I was an actual child, than when I was an actual child. So I just think, you know, these two are, you know, fantastic storyteller all the way. Now we come up to number 2, and it is Ron Howard's Willow. Now again, I watched this just the other night, and I still love it a lot. I probably actually hadn't seen it for a few years until I watched it the other night though. This is great. You know, I used to love the bit where the troll turned inside out. It used to scare me a fair bit, but this movie is really just magical. Now I've got to do something about this dodgy second-hand ex-rental that I've got, but yeah, for some reason I just haven't really seen it around at video shops or anywhere, and so as soon as I saw this copy, I snapped it up. I could definitely get it on the internet, but I think I'm gonna have to wait for a Blu-ray release, which I believe there isn't one yet. But as soon as there's a Blu-ray release of this, I'm definitely getting it. And yeah, Willow, fantastic movie. And this brings us to our number 1. It is The Dark Crystal. This was just, you know, again, with Willow and Labyrinth and Storyteller, just staple diet for me. I probably actually didn't watch this one as much as Storyteller, but I definitely love this a lot. And I don't know if it's just me talking now or my inner child, but I definitely used to love this a lot more than Labyrinth as a kid. And a lot of people like Labyrinth a lot more than Dark Crystal, but I tend to disagree. I just think, you know, the Dark Crystal, you know, it's 100% puppets, you know. There's no actors in it at all. It's just an amazing achievement, really, if you think about it. This is my DVD here. I've got this movie on all 3 formats, you know, and I don't really plan on getting rid of either of them. I just like them all so much. And this is the VHS. But yes, I've talked about this movie before on a past video update. I just love this. I had a children's book that I used to get out from the school library every single week and read, which I just recently repurchased again on eBay, and it's brought back a lot of great fond memories. But you know, just everything about this movie is just, I would have to say, pretty perfect. And you know, yeah, this movie is scary, and yeah, it's got some dark stuff, but you know, it also focuses on the good. And I think if a lot of kids were brought up on this stuff, they'd be, you know, pretty good people. You know, it's just a great movie, really. And that is my top 10 favourite childhood movies of all time. Alright, stay tuned. I'll have an update coming up soon, and I might even do a couple more of these videos. See ya.